Right, so now that's out of the way, all done, dusted, filled out my paperwork. What it is, I was at the YMCA, as everybody knows, and now that I've got my new place, all I had to do was put my new address down. That was it, really. But I start training tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to be at where you've just seen me at, the DHI. I start my training. I got to be there at 9:15 in the morning. And yeah, I start my training. And then before you know it, that's a couple of weeks. And then I get my test, and everybody's looking forward to me working with them. You know, I've been there, I've done that, and a lot of them are just textbook people that haven't actually really done a drug in their life. So for someone who's spent a good period of time in their life on drugs or in trouble or, you know, being homeless, been there, done that, they want me on their team. You know, I get tested quite often, so it's not like, oh yeah, like people look, I get like people going, oh look, he's high off his head, look at his eyes, mate, I'll get tested, you know what I mean? You think they're going to let me work there if I'm on drugs? Come on, people, right? Yeah, my eyes might look a bit small, maybe it's the lighting or whatever, but you know, I ain't gonna get away with doing drugs and work there. Come on, where's your head at, people? You know, anyway, so, as promised, a little bit about myself, even though I just give you a little story about myself, losing my mum and all that. This is one of my earlier memories when life started getting a bit shit and went downhill. And that is, I was at Frogwell School, you know, little kids' school. I was about 8 years old. And basically, you had the main big block like here, and then you had another little row of blocks that were classrooms, and then you had a big field, and you had like little mobile huts. And it was break time, or dinner time I think it was. I was only about 8, and I was with one of my old friends. I'll just say JC for now. And basically, me and him got into a bit of a fight. Stupid kid stuff, you know what I mean, over girls. And I got in a fight, we had a little punch up. He walked away black eye. I had like a little mark where he scratched me, and I went boof. Yeah, I got split up, went to the headmaster's office. Before you know it, boom, he's like, I get suspended because I was a bit of a naughty child. Cause, to be honest, my home life wasn't really great. My mum was born in South Carolina. She wasn't born in a wheelchair, but she caught polio. A lot of people died, actually. My mum was one of the lucky ones, if you want to call it that. But my mum, mate, her personality, what a great woman, man. I tell you what, she'd do anything for you. Anyway, so I get suspended for a week, and of course I tried ringing up my family, blah blah blah, no answer. Anyway, I had to leave the school premises. I only lived 10 minutes down the road. I was used to walking there to school, even at an early age. You got to remember, this is back in the 80s, yeah? This is 88. You know, like fucking kids walk to school and all that. There's no bus. There's no, like, worries like there is now with predators and shit. But yeah, 8-year-old walking a 10-15 minute walk home. Anyway, I get home, straight away I could see like my mum's friends, they're carrying like baggage out. And as I'm getting closer and closer, my mum's best friend Anita was pushing my mum out the door. And I'm like, what the f***'s going on here? And yeah, I did say what the fuck going on here, because the amount of language I heard at home, that is nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, what are you doing home from school? You're not meant to see this. And I'm like, I just got suspended for fighting. And she's like, oh, this is your dad's fault. And then like, I'm like, where is Dad? It's like, well, what do you think he is? He's backed up to the pub. So anyway, I'm like, so where are you going, Mum? Why have they got all your stuff? And they're like, I didn't want you to find out this way, but yeah, I'm leaving. I've got a bungalow. Luckily, it was only like just down the road technically, but you know, like, and I go, oh, you want me to find out the hard way? And I knew that something was wrong that day. I think that's why I was in a bad mood anyway. Started arguing with me mate. Next thing, we get fighting. I get suspended. Nothing new there. Yeah, so I found out, you know, literally, that my mum was leaving my dad on her wing because I got in a fight, come home early and caught my mum leaving. And anyway, like 5 minutes later my dad comes back, he goes, what are you doing home? You should be at school. And it's like, he got suspended again. It's like, BAM! You know, back then you get like a whack, innit? You can't do that to your kids nowadays. But yeah, I got a whack around the head, sent to my room. That's why prison never bothered me, mate, because that's where I spent most of my time. I was always locked in my room, or always had to go in my room. Even when I didn't do things wrong. My dad just wanted time for himself. Get in your room. So yeah, I was locked in a fucking little room. My room wasn't that big. We lived in a bungalow. And yeah, I just had my own little fantasy world, mate. It's, yeah, not good for growing up. You know, kids, like, I didn't have kids come round my place, you know what I mean? And every time I went to go to someone else's place, I always end up getting in trouble. Either my language or, I don't know, just, I wasn't very good at communicating very well with other people. I used to get frustrated, the language come out. You know, you're an environment if you're a product of your environment, and my environment was not great, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I was in and out, I was always in trouble. I was never at school for very long because I hated authority, I hated being told what to do. You know, if it is something I liked, I excelled at it. I mean, I put my all in it, and I'd get top marks. If there's something I didn't like or I didn't understand, you got to understand, back then things were different. You know, like you put your hand up and they'd be like, and people, you know, there was no help. So if you interrupted the teacher, oh mate, everybody would take the piss out of you, then I'd end up getting a fight right there in the classroom. I even fought the teachers. Now, I'm not, mate, my dad scared the shit out of me, yeah? And no one scared me more than my dad, see? All the bullies and that, I thought, yeah, well, my dad's view on things was, if they're bullying you, just go smack them, or if they're bigger than you and you can't fight them, pick up a chair. This was my dad's advice. When he was younger, someone bullied him, so what did he do? He picked up a chair and wrapped it around his head. That was his advice to me. Rather than, oh no, try talk it out or walk away or rah rah rah. No, just pick up the nearest thing and whack it around their head. Anyway, So that was the time in my life where I think everything sort of, it was going bad, but that's when it really sort of fucking started really like fucking with my head. And you know what, my past is like, now that I'm sober and I've done groups and I've started putting things together, and I remember certain things I blocked out, because that's what your brain does. With unhappy memories and that, your brain blanks it out. Like, I remember we had a family friend who's a Jehovah's Witness. No offence to Jehovah's, but well, yeah, you do things different. But yeah, he tried to sexually assault me, and I ran out the house. Never told no one. I forgot about it until in my recovery. That sort of hit home a lot, and that's hard to deal with. But you know what? Little things in your recovery, when you get sober and you get recovery and you do work on yourself, you're going to remember things that you thought, damn, I haven't thought about that for years. Or your brain blocks that out. It's a safety mechanism. Anyway, so that is my story about myself. So you got a two in one deal there. From the first part about my partner and my mum passing away, and now you've got a little bit about when I found out my mum was leaving home. And you want a prison story. Yeah, prison story. Right, my last prison sentence was at HMP Portland. Now, Portland is a well-known rough jail. It's a Cat C. I went there. I just done my clock. I was doing my clock. I got my head down. There was a lot of boys from Bristol there. I'm a Bath boy, but you know, I lived in Bristol City. I used to be a football hooligan, Bristol City. I know quite a few people. So Bath, Bristol, we all hang about together. We had the wing Bembo, and it was we had that pretty much to ourselves. It was all Bath, Bristol. A lot of the Bath boys there up on the top tier. Our tiers work different to America. We have 12 cells on a wing, yeah, and then you have your half tiers, and you have six cells on a half tier. So one day, I'd like to say, I don't know actually, should I tell that story now or should I tell a different one? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a different one, because when I was in Portland, the whole point of there is, you know, my mum just died, my partner died, dying of cancer. I was about sorting my shit out, and I did get out and sort my shit out, and that's how I met my wife now, Shah. Well, I met her, I knew her before, but we got together and I got out, and now we're married, happily married. Alright, I told this story on my old channel, yeah, but I missed a little bit out. You alright, boss? How's it going? I told this story on my old channel, yeah, but I missed a bit out. Basically, we had this guy called Manchester's HMP Horfield, yeah, and I think I was on remand on this particular escapade. Yeah, anyway, so Spice, he was selling spice and that, and people, what we do It's if you had like cartons of milk that you get from your brekkie. You'd have your breakfast in the morning. It used to be a cooked breakfast. And then you'd get given a packed lunch. And then you'd have a hot meal later on. And then at the weekends you get your breakfast pack, because you wouldn't get out till later. Then you get like hot meal in the afternoon, and then another sandwich pack. Then you get your breakfast pack. Yeah, it was shit, man. Anyway, so what we used to do is take up our milk up to Manchester, and you'd swap it for a bit of baccy or a bit of spice. I never done the spice because that shit fucked in my head. That's why I don't smoke weed now. Not for me. I used to when I was younger, the weed, but spice, hell no. Anyway, he had like a line about 3-4 people lined up outside, and Manchester goes, yo, what do you want? I got 2 milks here, I need some tobacco. So he's chucked me a bit of tobacco. I go, what are they all lined up outside for? He goes, oh, they all want a bit of spice. He goes, they fucking already traded their lunch trays and that. He goes, nah, mate, all we do is like, what they used to do for fun. I ain't condoling this. It's only a story. This is what other people done. I'm just telling the story. Alright, so don't get on the fucking rah, going, oh yeah, you're out of order. I'm just telling the story. Right, so they'd line up and they would either get them in the cell, and they'd go, right, if you want a bit of spice, you'd have to do it now. And what they'd do is do a bucket bong, but they'd do the chillum about that big. And like normally, sorry, traffic. Normally you only have a tiny little sprinkle of it, mate, because that's where a lot of people went wrong when they hit the jail. They get on this spice and they think it's like weed and put it into their spliff, whatever, light it up, and then they'll go cuckoo, mad, or people even died. You know, this is when it was just before it went illegal, and before they start using bug spray and chemicals that you use out the kitchen, and spraying it on paper. But this was like the actual herb stuff that either the guards were bringing in or they're getting on visits, or however they done it. I'm not grasping on no one. This is well-known facts. Come on. You know, you get the little what do you call them, helicopter things come up to the window. So it's really hard to concentrate. I'm next to the building site. Anyway, so I'm like, back to the story. I'm like, so what are they doing outside? Wait, you know what I mean? Fucking, they're like spice heads. And they're like, no, they'd stitch them up. They'd give them a massive bit, right? And then fucking slap them and send them out onto the landing. So they'd be freaked out. They'd be on the landing running about and just make a right tit of themselves. Yeah, you alright? So, it's entertaining. If they want to do that, you know, they had no common sense. You know, they know they're getting stitched up, but mate, they'd be that stitched up that it just freak them right out, and they'd do some really stupid stuff. I got some really bad stories of what's happened to people when they've been stitched up, but I'm talking about this particular time. So anyway, there's about 3-4 kids in line waiting to either get stitched up or smacked in the face, and then, you know, they get this tiny little bit, or they get stitched up and sent on their way, beat up a bit or whatever. That's what people done. It's entertaining to them. I wasn't really into doing all that, but you know, you watch it, you see it. You know, what else are you going to do? You're locked up all the time. That's why I don't try and tell all my stories, or I'm not going to make up stories neither, because, you know, what's the point? I ain't a liar. I've got a load of stories, but I haven't got, like, you see all these channels, they've got all these stories and they say, oh yeah, I've done this. Mate, I call bullshit, yeah, unless you've done a long time or you're in certain jails. Most of the time you're locked up, mate. And today's story is about me sitting on my bunk. I cleaned myself 3 times. I'd done a shitload of push-ups, I got a nap, I had my dinner. Then I brushed my teeth, and then I went to the toilet and went to sleep. That'd be a regular day, especially if you're on lockdown. Anyway, so there's on the line, there's this kid, third from the row. He's known to be a pad thief, and I know for a fact that he stole off my cellmate. So I said, listen mate, I'll tell you what, see the third one on the row, that's the one who nipped off my cellmate, told the story, and Manchester goes, I go, I'll give you fucking my next 2 lots of milk if you let me whack him one. He goes, nah, I'll tell you what, that's my boy, right, just fucking, yeah, whack him. So he gets the kid to come in, and he goes, don't mark him up too much, because you get fucking spun. And anyway, he comes in, he sees my face, and he goes white as a sheet. He goes, right, what do you want then, a stitch up or slap? He goes, oh, I'll take the slap. Serious, this is how sad these people are. Right, apparently this, like spice is more addictive than heroin. Coming off it's horrible. I've seen people coming off it and they're, why would you do that to yourself? It's bad enough heroin, but this stuff, mate, you know what I mean? Each to their own, so I can't say much. You know, my thing was heroin. So anyway, he goes, right. I go, come here then, mate. He goes, oh no, eat Manchester. I'm going, Manchester. He's like, I built like a brick shit house. He makes me look small. I'm big, but he's, woo. Anyway, I'm like, no. If you want it, take it. If you don't want it, fuck off, innit? Anyway, he goes, go on then. He goes, remember, don't mark him up too much. I go, I won't. So I turned round like I'm about to get the packet. I've gone, BAM! He's gone flying out the cell, hit his head on the bar on the side, and nearly knocked himself out. And mate's going, I told you not to whack him too hard. And I'm like, no, I know he's the one who come in our cell, nipped our backy and that. And Manchester grabs him, pulls him back in the cell. He goes, did you nick his backy and that? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, how come you had backy all last week? You know what I mean, you little prick? Because you'd be up here getting your whack or getting stitched up. And he could not come up with an answer. You're right, boss. Could not come up with an answer for that. So Manchester just bangs him clean in the face. His nose explodes. And it's like, right, you got to get off the wing. And yeah, you ain't a PC. But, you know, a pad thief. Look, I know it's not bullying, mate. He chose to come up and get the whack and that. He was the one who went into other people's cells and stole. You know, you can't be doing that in jail. That's just as bad as being a paedophile in my book. Being a pad thief, god damn. Being a pad thief, it goes along with, you know, being a wrongling and that. So, yeah, not only did he get a whack from me, he got a whack from Manchester, and you got sent off the line, and we never give him nothing anyway. And he's labelled as a pad thief, and guaranteed wherever he went on our units or the next wing, the news went round, you need to get a whack again. My advice is, if you don't want to get into all that, don't get in trouble, don't go to prison, don't get into addiction, stay at school, get a job, work hard, and then you can have a car, you can have your own place. Mate, I'm 43, right? I've had it all, I've lost it all, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And now, I've had to start all over again. Yeah, I got my beautiful wife, I've got my own place. You know, I'm saving up to do stuff. But I'm catching up with things that I should have done when I was a kid. So, you know, even though it sucks, just get your head down, get it out of the way, get it done. And then you can work it. When you get older, that's when you can be where you want to be. Just get your head down and get your GCSEs, mate. That's all I can say. If you don't, you're a mug. You're going to end up in this game. And trust me, prison ain't what it used to be. You used to have respect. You used to have a pecking order. You used to have the older guys looking out for you. Not anymore. These kids are running wild, off their head on spikes, stabbing each other. Jail's just not the place to be, mate, I'm telling you. Just stay at school, stay away from the drugs, get a good job, get a good woman behind you. Once you've got a good woman behind you, mate, you're invincible. Because if you knew what I was like back in the day, and you know me now, you'd think, oh, fuck me, you're like 2 different people, trust. And you know what, I'm still learning. And that's all thanks to my Charlotte. I love you, baby, you know what I mean? Never a true saying, behind every good man is a good woman. You know what I mean? And trust me, my woman's put up with a lot from me. You know, we both give up, you know, the alcohol. We slipped up on the drugs and that, but you know what? Together we worked it out. We got back on track. Because we had each other's back, yeah? So, just be good to one another, stay away from it, it's not worth it. Once you go to jail and that, you are marked. People look at you different, getting a job, you're like, well, no, well, especially if you're being done for dealing drugs or violence or anything like that. There's some jobs, you know, I'd love to get, but I'm never going to get them because of my criminal history. Now it's all about trying to help others, you know, so you're right. So that's my ideal job. I help others anyway, no matter what, but if I can get paid for it as well, woohoo, bargain. As you can see today, I've done what I've had to do. Filled out my paperwork, you know, go back to college, finish my GCSE, do my IT course, start training tomorrow, being a peer mentor, and then boom, you know, I got my test in in about a month, and then I'll be showing you off my badge. And then I think you have to do about a year's voluntary work, and then they offer you a job. But in that year, damn sure I'll be getting my fingers in each and every pie, so I'm qualified to do all sorts of different things. I want to be able to help as many people as I can. Because when I was on the street,